Okay, I've made the slot. How did I make the slot? I found the centre first, then I decided how far in I wanted to come and how far long I wanted the slot. Then I used a pilot drill to drill several holes in line. Then I went through with a bigger drill to the size that I wanted, drilling out each hole as I went along. Once I'd done that, I was then able to do that with the drill while it was rotating, and that cut out all the bits and pieces inside. Once that was done, I then took my trusty sharp knife and cleaned out the inside and the edges, and that's how my slot was made. Right? Now, I then found a bolt which had a blank part on the shaft after the thread. Okay, I get this up as, there you go. Okay, so that there was no threads to cut into the plastic of the roller. And then I just simply got a nut, went down until it was just touching so that the roller could still move, and then backed it off a little bit, about half a turn. Okay, pardon me. I'm going to get a washer, put that on, put that in the slot, another washer and nut, and then I can adjust it to where I want, do it up, and the wheel can still move. Right? In fact, that's a little bit too tight, so we'll back that off. Just move the nut a couple of turns. Obviously, depending on what roller you use, there we go. See, that's a lot more freer. Okay, and that will go on there and traverse along there. This will be the parallel adjustment for the Z-axis, which is going to be here, and this bar will take the weight of the Z-axis, which I think is a lot better than my original thinking. So you could say my original thinking was flawed, and you'd be correct. Right, so I will now attach this to the Z-axis. I'll parallel it up, and you'll be able to then see it in all its glory. Okay then? Right. Okay, so now you can see that I've fitted the bar, and using the original printer roller, I've mounted the slotted piece of timber on, screwing and gluing to give it extra strength, and also I've put this odd bit of, I think it's 1.5 by 1.5 timber on the back, and glued that in position, and it's to stop this action. That's all that's there for. Doesn't do anything else but that. This is this nut and roller system is adjusted in the slot to make sure that the Z-axis is parallel to the gantry. That way everything's at 90 degrees to the Y bed. On top of which I put some baby oil, on a brush and just brushed the bar. That's all you need. You don't need anything spectacular. You don't need super duper lubricating, but you know, obviously when you build yours it'll be totally different. The other thing I did was, in here I had a gap, and I made sure I had a gap so that I could fit some printed circuit board in and glued in position, and the fiberglass portion is actually sat on the bar like that, and the copper clad side of it is up here glued to the next bit. I've got 3 pieces in there because I left I think it's about 1/8 of an inch gap, but that was just deliberate so that I could get everything right and then pack it with the printed circuit board. It doesn't have to be printed circuit board, it could be plastic, anything that will slide on this bar smoothly, basically. So now we're ready to fit the Dremel onto the Z-axis. We'll get the motor lifting it up and down, and we'll get the Y-axis moving backwards and forwards. Okay, and that'll be for the next video, I think. Bye for now.